This is Apple's latest $500 laptop, and we're going to be seeing if it destroys the Windows competition. There's two things you notice as soon as you open up the laptop. One, how quickly it resumes, and two, how it can be opened with just one hand. That requires precision in terms of the hinge tension and also that little indent below the trackpad. That's the kind of attention to detail that's usually missed in a budget device. The second thing you'll notice is simply how well built the device is. It's an all metal aluminium build, and you can really tell it's simply very durable and it feels very premium in the hand. That's very different from any of the other budget devices at this price range that are usually made of plastic. Now, comparing the MacBook Neo and the MacBook Air M1, they're actually quite similar in size and weight. The MacBook Air has a wedge design which makes the front a bit more slimmer, and that does make it a bit more comfortable to type on. When you open up both devices, you can see that they're both quite similar in screen size, the keyboards are similar. The one key difference is the MacBook Air has a Force Touch trackpad, which is slightly better and I'll talk about later. The display is another highlight of the MacBook Neo, being very bright at 500 nits. It has good anti-reflective coating to bat off those annoying reflections. It's also very vibrant and it's reasonably color accurate. Maybe not as good as the higher end MacBook Airs, but it's still very good for the average user. And now for a quick speaker test. Now the audio quality from the MacBook Neo is what I'd call adequate. It delivers loud volume, there's high clarity, the trebles are quite good. I'd say it's a bit lacking in the bass. It doesn't really deliver the wow factor of the other MacBooks in terms of their audio quality, but it's still decent. Now when using the keyboard, I did find it a bit shallow on travel, and it's not as satisfying to use as some of the other MacBooks that I've used. I would say though it's still decent. It has the same layout as the other keyboards, so you can still get used to it and type well. The trackpad is another area that Apple unfortunately had to compromise slightly. In this device it uses a diving board mechanism rather than the Force Touch trackpads on the other MacBooks. Those MacBooks have a vibration motor under the trackpad so you don't actually click. That just means it's a bit more accurate and it's less loud. Now in terms of the ports, there's two USB-Cs on one side, a headphone jack, a side speaker, and on the other side there's a side speaker but no other port. Now in terms of the USB-C ports, one of them is a USB 3 port at much faster speeds and it also supports DisplayPort, but the other USB 2 does not support DisplayPort and is a lot slower. Now with the MacBook Neo you have the A18 Pro chip, which is actually found in the iPhone 16 Pro, so last year's iPhone, and that would make you wonder how can it really perform well enough in a laptop. Well, the way that iPhones have progressed, their chips have become so powerful that it actually performs quite well in this MacBook Neo. The performance is similar to what we find in the M1 MacBook in terms of multi-core, but it's actually slightly higher in terms of single core performance, so it delivers a very fast responsive system, allowing you to do simple tasks like browsing, watching videos, switching between tabs very easily. There is one limitation however, and that's the 8GB of RAM. It could sometimes be a bit of a limitation of the performance on this device and it's non-upgradable. I think for most users doing simple web browsing tasks that won't be an issue, but it's something worth bearing in mind. Now another big benefit of this device is simply how efficient it is, and that obviously allows it to last very long with a small battery. It means it doesn't produce much heat and it allows it to have a fanless design, making it a lot better than a lot of Windows laptops at this price point again. I did do a quick test of gaming on this device playing the latest Asphalt game, and even though Asphalt is a mobile game it did struggle a little bit. I'm unsure if this is due to the high resolution of the MacBook screen or possibly just the limited performance of the GPU, but it's worth bearing in mind this is just a mobile chip at the end of the day. In conclusion, Apple has released a device that is really competitive in the budget laptop market. It's able to offer excellent build quality, a very good screen, decent input devices, great performance and brilliant efficiency, and that's something that's simply not seen at this price point very often, and it's the first time Apple have released a laptop this cheap. So I'm going to do more videos on this laptop. If you'd like to find out more, please like, comment and subscribe for more videos.